Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, rather. Welcome to the Hit and Run Candlesticks Trading Room. Members e-learning tonight. Tonight is February 3rd, 2015. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Wow, what a boost in the market today. I think quite a few people here made a few dollars, especially trading those oils. We'll probably look at a few tonight. I've got the SPY chart up here real quickly. I want to look at it here. I've got no moving average, just a few little lines on there, 4 lines, and I think these are 4 very important lines. One, we'll start with the one that seems to be the furthest away, and that is the line down here. And what I did is I just connected those lows just to show we're still making lower lows here. It's kind of hard to put in here we're making higher highs because we're not. Although we did close above this area right here, this doji and where this bearish engulf came in. We did close above that, so I guess we could say we took out one high. I think these over here are going to be a little more important, and I think that's pretty obvious. Great job what the bulls did today, absolutely terrific. I put a green line through here marking this top, and I just drew it across there. I wasn't really thinking. I just, hey, let me drop a line right here and see where it comes to. And it was kind of interesting where it landed right at these tops there. Kind of split those 3 candles, and look how those candles laid in there. Look at that doji, these 3 candles, how they stopped. Anything underneath that green line becomes resistance. Anything above becomes support. Also, now that we're back up and we're like the bulls are doing well here. I got to admit, nice job today. Nice job yesterday too. I guess if we stay above that green line, we could probably look at that as somewhat bullish. We still need to see a little follow through. So I like that green line right there, and that kind of divides this high, and then you have these lows and highs, and we have the lows. I just think it's a nice dividing line to put up there for if you're looking to be, say, is the market bullish or bearish? What direction is it going? Which side of the fence is it on? I think if we get underneath it, we're obviously on the bearish side. If we're on top of it, we're on the bullish side of the fence. So right now, it's hard to make an argument that the bulls are not going to continue. I'm still a little bit, well, let's see. I'm not 100%. If we take these highs up here out, then I think I can see where we might be bullish, and then if we do that, we can afford to come back maybe to do a little retest, and then start working up, maybe playing with these highs, the crooked line there, those highs right there. So anyway, that's just a little bit there. Let's throw the rest of the lines on there, and you can see that we're right at the top of our triangle here, our wedge, and a breakout would send us up obviously above that area, and then sort of strengthen the position above the 50-day simple moving average, which would be a very positive move for the bulls and the buyers and all the bullish traders here. I think that would be a very bullish move. That would set it up to retest these highs and move up higher. The thing we don't want to see, and we really are still at a critical level, we just don't want to see some bearish signal come in here and knock all this down. So that's something you want to watch for. if that happens right there. I did a well today in the room somebody I think we were talking about some oil stocks, and I apologize, I forget who it was. I thought it was a good choice of theirs, um, and it turned out well for them as far as the chart went. I do remember that. Um, but it was something about, and I forget what chart we were looking at, but it was something about several charts, and I do think it was in the oil area. And somebody said, "Well, I took the one that was already over the 50," and I thought that was a great way to, if you have a list of stocks, and here we go. If you have a list of stocks, now this happens to be ETFs, but that's what we're going to look at next. If you have a list of stocks and you're trying to make that choice of which one do I trade, this one here, this one here, this one here, you might you might look at this and say, well, okay, I want to trade that one because it's over the 50. It's a way to drill down. And I noticed up there tonight, I've been sitting here a little bit, and I noticed David there was saying how he, drilled down a little bit. He's only trading a couple of chart patterns. I saw Pam there mention she really likes one particular chart pattern, pull back to the T line, and Dave's looking for certain ones. And I think that's really good, because if you go through and try to overdo it, you can have too much. To give you an example, this is something I look at. It's kind of big. It's kind of a cheat sheet. I can come over here if I'm interested in looking at bullish engulfs. I've already got it up, but I'll redo it. Whoop. There we go. Well, these are the bullish engulfs that I might be looking at. Well, that might be way too many, and then you've got to figure out a way to. They all can't. They are all not tradable. So I might look at things like coming off support, coming off a moving average, things like that. If you're looking at piercing candles, maybe you're looking at those. Once again, coming off support, maybe pullbacks, something like that, and that's kind of what I do with the candlesticks in here. And I've got a couple of different chart patterns that I look at and add it all up. Well, it got me to thinking. One thing we might want to talk about tonight is these ETFs. There's 26 ETFs that I have here, and I look at every evening. Right after the market closes, I go through them and take a look at them. And what I did here is I started putting these columns in to see what they did. And the first one I put in, well, what did close over the 50? So let's take a look at that. And we're not going to look at every single one of them. So out of 26, 18 closed over the 50-day moving average. Now, what this might mean, and where I'm going with this, is maybe with the market, the condition it's in. I'm going to go back to the SPY real quick. It's not really down, it's not really up, it's just moving sideways. And during the day, I know that we tend to look at a lot of charts that are down low. We tend to look for those rounded bottom breakouts, and I got to admit, I'm a little guilty of always leaning that way, because what I've found is that brings some of the fastest, largest moves faster than what charts might bring that are trending. But that doesn't mean that trending charts are not good. In fact, I think they're fantastic, and we might want to look at charts that are leading this market. So charts that are likely to lead the market up. And one way to get there is look to see what ETFs are leading the market up. So here's here's closes over the 50-day simple moving average. And like I said, there's 18 out of 26. Well, how many closed over the 20-day simple moving average? And we come up with 23 out of 26. Well, let's put that together. How many closed over the 20 and the 50? Wow, much smaller list. And that would be the list that are, the trend is probably better off, because the 20 is over the 50. Rather than trading, say, down here where the 20s are below the 50, or other moving averages maybe below the 50. Everything up, those are the ones that might lead us out a little bit. So let's take a look at ITB. You look at ITB, and it's certainly got ugly right in here, but it does have support, and now it's moving up. And let's take a look at the chart pattern here. Not a bad little chart pattern. It's not a candle we can really call anything. Opened up below the 50% of this dark day and closed way up. Consolidation. But this, excuse me. Somebody might want to look in the home construction index and maybe find some charts in there that are trying to lead up. XRT, for instance. Here's XRT. Look how it really came down and hammered here, gapped up, and notice how the 20 is above the 50, the 34 is hanging in there. Price is above the T line. In fact, we have kind of sort of a morning star signal working right in here. So this might be a ETF. The retail here might lead up. IYR. Here's the real estate. With all the sideways move, the bearishness that's been in the market, the days down, real estate here really did not participate. Excuse me, did not participate that much. A little pullback, ugly candles at the time, big old hammer, long-tailed hammer, and a bullish engulf here that may try to lead us out. 1 second. There's that dong frog, had to get it out. Utilities may be trying to come back, and as toppy as this might be looking, the fact is it did not participate with the big pullback, and it's still trending up. IBB, little biotechs, for the most part, the trend is still up. We got some lower wicks on here showing us that the bulls are still involved. So, if you're like I say, if you're looking for those charts that's leading up and out, then you might look at a few of these ETFs. Look inside the ETF, what might be there. Here, price came down, and then we have a bullish Hiromi that gapped up today, put us back over the 50. 20 still above the 50. The trend's still alive there. And the last one showing up here is healthcare. Healthcare, I think, is it's just a great place. It seems like healthcare just can't lose there. Charles, feel free to write them down, bud. We have a hammer here, hammer, and it closed up a little bit. And so anyway, those were charts where the 20 is actually leading the 50, and price is over the 50-day simple moving average. You could even narrow it down more if you went, well, what closed over? Well, actually, that did it right there. Let's take a look at that. ITB. So what closed over the 20 and the 20 over the 50? So that might be a chart that is really leading out. XRT, the 20 over the 50 and price closed over the 20. Real estate, 20 over the 50 and price closed over the 20. XLU, 20 over the 50 and price closed over the 20. And IBB closed over the 20 and 20 over the 50. So there we can even narrow it down a little bit more. So I think that was, like I said, Dave there, if you read the chat, he shared what charts he liked. Pam there shared she likes pullbacks to the T line. Uh, and then earlier today, it's where I got the idea from to do this, is narrow the field down. It's really hard to look at the field in a huge picture. You have to narrow it down a little bit, and that just might be a way right there to do that. Okay, I hope a few people brought a couple of charts. What I'm going to do is take a look at today's watch list. I mean, there were some crazy, scary charts out there in a very positive way today that just rocked the market. I mean, somebody, if you're in them, you're making 10, 20, 30% on some of them. Today's featured trade idea LPI, which I did not get into. I stared at it all day yesterday and did not get into it. Man, that just went crazy there with 16%. The leader today, as far as what was on the members' stock list, is this PWE for 24.85%. A lot of these oil charts are up. Now, let's just be careful what we're doing here. 2 weeks ago, I started really talking about these things because they offered such percentage gains. Just it was so oversold that there was just a tremendous value in keeping track of them and being ready when they started to roll. And today was just proof of that. Today was a monster day for those that had a few of the oil stocks or could get in them quick enough today, maybe. But let's just not, let's be very careful that we don't overblow this a little bit. Oil got a little overblown to the downside, and it needed a little pick-me-up. That's just the way the market works. But this little pick-me-up is not necessarily a sign that oil's going to rock and roll and move a whole lot higher. The market was up today. Oil was up today, market's up today. I kind of lean toward oil moving. That's what drove the market up a little bit. So, if oil starts to fade, the market might start to fade as well. So, keep an eye on that. 2 weeks ago, I just simply was talking about this being a dead cat bounce. Just take advantage of it, and we can make some money. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go look at some charts some folks have here. Thanks for bringing them. Okay, I can only really see up there Nigel's moo. So if you type something above moo, please type it in again. It'd be very helpful. Moo's not doing too bad. Yeah, not doing too bad at all. I would certainly, the more and more here recently, I've been going to our naked chart. Have you been noticing that? Because we see charts like this, and I got to tell you, that just looks kind of ugly to me. And it's because all this stuff on here. Well, let's clean it up and let's go to this chart. This chart looks very, very good to me now. So what we have here is a nice rising trend line, and then we have a little bit of a pullback here, and that's what you would expect this to do, and that's what we look for in charts, are up, back up. I mean, I could have actually drawn this one right here as well, where we're up, down, back up, down, back up. Very nice chart, Nigel. Obviously, you've got a little bit of resistance over here on the left. I wouldn't let the resistance worry you too much until you see the price tell you that to be worried. For instance, if we come over here, and I think probably the most obvious resistance, to me anyway, is right there. So what are we going to do about that resistance? Well, it really depends on what the candlestick does. If the candlestick comes up and if we run up and it starts to do this, I think it's a complete storybook in one candle. On the other hand, if we come up and close like that, that's a complete storybook in one candle. So I wouldn't let resistance concern us too much. Um, let the price action tell you what to do. And I'm not saying ignore this, because this is where price action really becomes important, is up in this area. So right now that looks very bullish to me. I would trade that all day long until it just didn't trade anymore, and watch those candlesticks to give you those clues. SGY. SGY, let me go back to this chart here. Let's mess it up. SGY, once again, I'm going to start throwing a little caution out with the energy and gas stuff. We do have a rounded bottom breakout here now, so I like that right away. Quite simply, to me, I would be buying anywhere in that box right there. Some obvious target areas are going to be something like that right there, and I probably should have checked. 24%. That's a healthy move. So I think that's a very nice chart. I like that little chart pattern right there. I like the fact it's a double bottom, low, high, higher, low, and we really started breaking out of some stuff here. Just watch those resistance levels. Watch for that sell signal that might not saying it will, might come in. Other than that, I would trade anything to the right on this chart. Very nice. Let's see, EMES. EMS is setting up nice, and it really hasn't blown through yet, so I suspect it has a little bit of room to go. Great finish today. Low, low, low. Higher lows here. I can see this moving, what, 30% right to that 100. That kind of hard for you guys to see, maybe. It's right there where my cursor where the crosshairs are. Right to the 100, and also comes into these this area right over here in November lows right in there. Very nice chart. Doji, bearish engulf, had a chance to really drop, and then it came up. Not a bullish engulf, but somebody might even call this a scoop pattern. I can see the possibility there, where it drops real fast and comes back up. Nice little scoop pattern, which is a bullish chart pattern. Bass was hitting the scanner today. Bass is a beautiful chart. Well, you know what? Let's keep that up there. There we go. What I'm doing is taking the highs over here and the lows. What percentage that 50%? Because that is a common area for stocks to get to. Certainly makes a good target, and that's about 26%. So right there tells me that Bass is worth looking at. Nice little kind of a hammer, a dragonfly candlestick here with a bullish engulf, gap up, follow through, gap up, follow through. Man, this thing's on fire. But let's think about it. In the last, we'll go extremes here. In the last 4 days, this thing has ran 34%. So, just keep in mind that there may be a little bit of a pullback needed here for these, some of these stocks to gain some energy. That's how they gain energy. They move up too high. All of a sudden, there's no buyers because everybody has already bought. Little profit taking starts coming in. That's what drives it down. Now the buyers want to get back in because they see the potential, and then it starts moving up again. So, be careful not to get caught in that. Hey, I'm going to chase these. I am certainly not suggesting tomorrow there's some big pullback. Just I'm just keep an eye on it. Um, nice chart there on Bass, by the way, Charles. XMIM. Nice. Here's a nice trending chart. This is what I was talking about. Charts that might lead us out a little bit. The 20 leading the 50 crossing over the 200-day simple moving average. That's a important little thing to note right there. It's moving up. We are coming up to some tops, which is about, well, let's say we buy it in the middle somewhere. We're looking at 6% up here. With today's chart pattern, I wouldn't be afraid to trade that rally. Look at that. Look at that turn. Morning star signal, monster stick today. Watch for that breakout right here. I'd be all over that. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Weekly. There we go. My voice activated weekly. Not really. Weekly's pretty good. Love that chart. And you know what? We are just almost on top of the biggest consolidation. So on a breakout, absolutely. Hey, really quick, I forgot I wanted to do something, and that going to that weekly reminded me of it. Let me go back to the SPY right here. Here's the daily chart. I assume all programs can do this, but you can look at a daily, a 2-day, 3-day. Of course, you can look at intraday as well. 5-day being a weekly chart. But if you look at the 2-day chart, look at that morning star right in there. And sometimes, you look at the daily chart, sometimes you can't make sense of it. It's like, what in the world? Go ahead and click on a 2-day chart. You might see something that might push you over the edge one way or the other. Here's a 3-day chart. Look at that big old bullish engulf right there. 4-day chart, bullish Hiromi. 5-day chart, and we'll stop right there. Another bullish Hiromi in here. So, don't be afraid to look at those 2-day, 3-day, 4-day charts. I think daily and weekly are very common, but the 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, they might give you a little more insight somewhere. Anyway, sorry to jump to that. I meant to talk about that earlier, and I forgot about it. Let's see, Bass, HIMX, we did that. How about Rex? Rex looks really good here. Rex is still moving. Rex is nice. Just, today was a 23% move from these lows over here 4 days ago. Rex had a 63% move. So just take it easy. Just take it easy for a little bit. To be careful. Don't chase. I mean, obviously, if you're in it, I think you should stay in it and just raise your stop up a little bit. Monitor the profits. You see it start to get a little weak at the top. Maybe look at an intraday chart. You start seeing a little selling. You want to get into that profit-taking mode. You can always buy it when it pulls back. Believe me, I'm loving these oils, but I'm also at a point where just realize that nothing just takes off. Let's see, WTI. Yeah, WTI looks nice. Great candle reversal pattern here. Let's. I think a trend line needs to be drawn here, and I think on a lot of the oils, we probably ought to look at a trend line and realize that we need to break out over that trend line. The 50-day simple moving average many times comes very close to the trend line, but it's worth physically drawing a line there so you can really see what it needs to do to break out. And then if it starts to come back, let me redraw that. If it breaks out, if it starts to come back, a good area to look at is that trend line area for some reversal signs right in there. See, I need to run up here a little bit. There we go. Andy, HOS. HOS. Nice chart, Andy. I like that. Excellent. You know, I really like the candle pattern here. Um, nice little. Come on, cursor. There we go. Look at that. Look at that riser. In fact, you know what? Let's go to this chart and let's take a look at this. Uh, Here we're rising with higher lows moving up, uh, starting to put in that ascending triangle. There's the top right there. There's the top where these candles start topping out. And then see where we break out. That becomes the new support line. Very, very, very nice. When you see that ascending triangle, which is um, a rising support line right there, and then we get that top, you get a little consolidation. Boom! It starts moving up. That's your new support line. That's a great sign right there. In fact, you know, anytime you see a chart, I'm just going to start the box right here, and then it runs up. You should see another little bit of consolidation. It may not be right there, maybe higher, but what you're looking for is that stair step to profit, just like that, all the way up. And as long as that keeps working, that type of chart pattern where it's up, sideways, up, very bullish. Keep in mind sideways can be down just a little bit as well. There, nice chart. Gigi, I posted LPI, SN, GDP last week. I've been posting AOIO, I'll get it in a minute, OIH and XLE with their components for a while. You know, that is something here. Does everybody know that you can copy from Omnovia? You just have to put your cursor up there, just like you would copy anything. So when you see those that Gigi puts out, I highly recommend you copy them. Put them on a watch list somewhere. So that, you know, if you see, for instance, OIH or XLF or, you know, any, you know, TAN, TAN, any of those moving, or you see that reversal signal in some of those ETFs, then you know to go look at those stocks that's in the ETFs if you want to trade those stocks. Really, it's a terrific way to trade. And thanks, Gigi, for posting all that. Appreciate it. Let's see, Jerry, crude down 80 cents. Thank you very much. DNR, yeah, DNR is a lovely chart. DNR is an absolutely lovely chart. From these lows, we're up approximately 35%. So just keep in mind that a little pullback might be in order. There does not guarantee it is going to have a pullback, but you want to be careful chasing it too much, because what's the reality for it going up? I mean, could we see a gap and a move tomorrow? Sure, we could. But every time it moves higher, your risk becomes greater. I mean, I love the chart. You can certainly trade it higher. If you're not in it, if you want to get in it, you certainly can. Just, you really want to be careful with those stops. If you're already long and you're just in some pretty big fat green money, you know, make sure you monitor. Don't let it slide and give all your profits away. Remember, you can always get back in it. But beautiful chart. Right now, to me, I still think it's got another 17% to go. Just doesn't mean it has to do it tomorrow or the next day. Let's see, where did that one go? I'm moving slow tonight. ARCO, ARCO, ARCO. Pretty nice here. That rally up, you see that little bit of a pullback. We have that J hook coming in there. We have a piercing candle. I know we have some wicks on there, and I know when you look at books and you see a piercing candle, you know, this is what you see right here. You see something like that, and and then you see something like that, and that's a piercing candle. You want it to close above 50% of that black candle. So I'm just sort of guessing right there. But if you look at this, there's your black candle. Here's your candle here that closed 50% into it. I mean, it is what it is. The wicks kind of take that perfectness out of it, but you can certainly see the pullback, the J-hook formation right there, and the fact we have a piercing candle opening the body, opening below and closing 50% above the negative body. That shows that the bulls really have something going, and that's a chart I would look at because of that right there, and the fact, of course, it's over the 50-day simple moving average. Right now, it looks like 10% is what I would look at. That doesn't mean it can't go higher. That's just where we start running into a little bit of resistance. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks, GG. DNR, float box breakouts, and an island reversal. Yeah, let's go look at that real quick. Whoops, wrong DNR. See that? Well, Gigi put a chart up there. His charts are better than mine on this sort of thing. You right there, right there. Got to watch those things. Now, again, when you see a bullish chart pattern, it doesn't mean that it's going to be bullish, 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 bullish like that. It means the bulls are there, and now the normal activity is also going to be there. And the normal activity is going to be a little bit of a pullback, and that's where sometimes we get lost because we see a chart like this. It pulls back, and all of a sudden it becomes garbage. Not at all. It becomes opportunity when those things happen. So just keep that in mind. Linda likes naked charts. Let's see. Rosemary, hi. This may be an obvious question, but when you say you would trade something all day long, do you mean day trading? No, what I'm saying. I guess that's my way of saying that I love the chart and I would absolutely want to be trading it. Maybe I should try to fix some of that. Sometimes my slang is a little bit off. I make words up, make things up. Those have been here, you know that. But that's what I mean by that, Rosemary. So it's like DNR. I might say, man, I would trade that thing all day long. That just means I like the chart, is all it means. Good question, though. SD. That's another nice chart. Ooh, I need to go over here. There we go. Look at this chart. Man, I'll tell you, when you see things like this, your eyes just get kind of buggy. Mine do. Up, back up. Look at that. Man, that is just a beauty of a chart. Add that line on, and now we have a bullish W pattern here. That is a gorgeous looking chart. SD. This is another chart that's been posted here several times by several people, and it was on the trade list today because of the way it closed. When these charts were picked, when I put them on the trade list, these were all done last night. I had no idea we were going to have all these gap ups, just the way it is. So some of these were hard to trade because they did gap up. Where exactly do you buy them? But what a great chart. I still think this is a terrific looking chart. This is important. I'm going to get rid of this. This is distracting. There we go. I'm going to move this over. And sometimes, well, actually a lot of times I get asked this, and PMs and emails, I get asked this. Man, is that too late? No, that's not too late at all. That is a beautiful chart and has plenty upside. Is it too late to buy it, say today, up here at the top? Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing that. What if it moves up tomorrow? Well, I'm not going to be too interested if it moves up tomorrow because it's just getting a little bit overbaked. Just from these lows up, there's 40% move. So it might be a little toasted, just a little bit. We might see a little bit of move up yet, but I'm not sure I want to chase those. But what I do want to do is I want to get a trend line on there. I want to get that trend line on there as fast as possible, and I want to get this on a watch list. And what I want to do is, most people, when they look at watch lists, how can I do this? I'm going to shrink this up so you guys aren't seeing everything. You don't. There we go. That's the same thing I had up a few minutes ago with all this stuff over here. I just shrunk it up so you can see it. But most people they look at all the positive, but charts like this I would put on a watch list, and then at least for TC2000 you can do it. I'm sure other programs can do it too. But I can flip that list upside down and I can see what's bearish as well. So what I might do with that is when I start, this watch list is only a few charts in it. It's not like you're going to put the entire world in here. So this chart has like 2,500 stocks in it. So you might put a few of these oils you like, or a few of the technology, or whatever's moved up. When they've moved up too much and you realize, okay, maybe I better be a little cautious now. Take my money and I want to trade this another day, but on a pullback. Draw the trend line in and put the chart in the watch list. And then every day, just go through here and look at the negative ones. Just look at the ones that have pulled back. And what you're going to find are all these charts that you put in there because they rallied, and now they're going to be pulling back. When they get down to your trend line, that's when you start shopping. Now that's when you might put it on another watch list, or you just monitor them with your eyes maybe. But you want to start looking for some bullish signs in there. And that's what makes these right here. Up, back, bullishness, and start moving. Keep in mind that bullishness might last several days. I want to point to a chart here that I would like to say I was here for a while and I saw some of the chat here, and Holex was mentioned here early tonight. Holex. Now I realize this is a chart that's up, it's not down, but it's doing the same thing. It's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's consolidating, things like that. So when you see this chart rally like that, and then it just moves sideways. Now in this particular case, we're not getting that down move like that. We're just getting a sideways move. After it moves sideways a few bars and it proves that the bulls are buying it, man, that's a good place to be buying in there. Any one of those areas on this consolidation. Remember, consolidation can be. I'm just going to not draw that. I'm going to draw that. This represents one candle or 5 candles maybe. Okay. Consolidation can be all of that right there. And the consolidation could be just simply up here high, just like these. It could be all the way down. Here, I'll do it a couple of candles at a time. All the way down, or anywhere in the middle here, like that. So, anyway, I hope that made a little sense. So I probably shouldn't have jumped to that chart, but I was thinking about it sort of in the back of my mind. Like I say, it was mentioned here earlier. Okay, I got a little off base here. SPLK, is that the right one? Yep, SPLK. We're trying to bottom right in here. I think the big thing we're looking for is that big old breakout. This is a longer chart pattern. We have a nice longer little cup, maybe a little handle working. The whole thing about this is, let's look at what we have here. Hammer, The bears tried to step in. The bulls stepped back in with a bearish, bullish Hiromi. A nice little gap up. Let's flip to a chart with nothing in our way. There we go. Now let's just draw a line on that right there. Any kind of a breakout, I would be looking at trading that. And if it broke out over those highs, that would be an absolute plus right there, because that would be changing the direction of this downtrend. Down, a failed high, down, failed high, down, and the failed high now is way up here because we never bounced right in here. So we have a failed high, down, failed high, down, failed high, down. If this candle pattern can take out that high, then that sets us up for moving higher and working on these other failed highs. Nice chart. Let's see, DG. Let me go back to my other chart. There we go. DG, anything over the 50-day simple moving average, I would absolutely look at trading that. DG's been trading up. It got sideways with the market. It came down below the 50. The bulls have definitely held it up here. There's lots of bullish candles down here, far more bullish candles than there are bearish candles. And a nice gap up, bull kicker type gap up. Any positive trade, I would look at trading that. Anything back below the 50 though, walk away. Above, all good. Hello Andy, Rick, if the stock closes above the 50 and becomes an RBB, then drops below the 50, is it still a rounded bottom breakout? Technically, no. If it goes back below the 50, then the rounded bottom breakout is voided. It's broken at that point until it comes back up above it. You know, in the rounded bottom breakout, there's a section called failure leads to success, and many times that's what happens. You know, a stock will come up. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, ESI is a good one. You know, a stock's like right here, for instance. Here's a rounded bottom breakout. There's actually a failed rounded bottom breakout. There's a rounded bottom breakout again. There's a failed rounded bottom breakout. There's a rounded bottom breakout again. Each one of these moves right here could lead to success of about 30%. This move here could lead to about 23%. So it's certainly there. We have a failed rounded bottom breakout, but here we are coming back above the 50. So now this is back in that rounded bottom breakout category. Let's see. Same with NFX. NFX, too far, too fast. Have to wait for a pullback. Absolutely agree. You know, it just a little too much up, a little too fast. 16%. That doesn't mean it can't move another day or two. Believe me, it doesn't mean that at all. It certainly can. It just remember the 3-day rule. That's not something I talk about a lot. But when a stock's been up 3 days, especially 3 healthy days like this, just be prepared for some consolidation. You know, we right here, staying on this chart, 1, 2, 3, consolidate. 1, 2, 3, consolidate. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up. I didn't pick this chart, but that just it's not 100%, but I certainly pay attention to it. Rex, I think we did that earlier. Rex, wrong Rex. There's the right Rex. Rex, I'd be buying over the 50-day simple moving average, and I would make sure I had a stop in there. I think stop-wise, I'd probably use something in the 470 area. You know, find a number you're happy with. And really what I'm looking at are these areas right there. And yes, that would be back below the 50, but you know, you just got to work with your plan there on Rex. But Rex still looks good. Just watch for the pullback. Watch for some consolidation. Bake. Bake, bake, bake. Little bottom fishing here. Let's see here. Bake right there. Bake is a pinball setup, and we're over the T line, and really anything over this candle, that's where I kind of wanted that to land, but I need to get it out of my way now. I'm going to move that down. So pinball setup here, we have about 16% to the 34, which happens to match up to these lows pretty much right on the money. So right there is what I would look at. I like that little pattern, very nice little chart pattern right in here, and especially if it can stay above this candle right there, that 975 level. That's what I'd want it to stay above. And of course, the T line is right there, so above the T line on that chart. CMG. Yeah, fast food. Everybody loves fast food. I think the more they try to take it away from us, the more we eat it. But that's a beautiful chart. I mean, Chipotle has been over the years just a dynamite chart. Great little chart here, looking like it's ready to break out. Man, this thing is. Do you think Chipotle can get to $1,000? Wouldn't that be amazing? I think it would be. Wow. Fast food, $1,000. Holy mackerel! Makes you want to buy Loco. Flex. That's not flex. There we go. If you're long flex, I would stay long flex. I'm still long flex myself. What I like about the chart is right in here, and that's why it was picked for the watch list, and that's why I'm in it. Is we did a little bull kicker gap up over the big three. We pulled back. This was a no-brainer buying area right here, and it just so happens it gapped up today. Certainly wasn't expecting that. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, we knew that. No, I didn't know that. But what a nice surprise, and it's still acting great. Is it up here near some resistance? Sure it is. But great candle today, great finish. To me, if you're long, I would stay long. We might be getting a little overbaked with it. 6%, 5%. Not a big move, but flex is not a big dramatic mover, so it may slowly just work its way up. What's that weekly look like? Look at that weekly. Nice chart here. Excellent chart. Great comeback. Good consolidation. Let's see. CPG. CPG.2. If you're long, I would stay long. We have a doji sandwich. Nice chart pattern. Just, I would consider we're getting near some resistance. So, this is one of these things where if the trend continues, I would stay with it. I have to ask, are you in it? Where'd you buy it? If you, I need to get that out of the way. If you bought it here and you're all of a sudden 16% in it, then perhaps a little profit taking is in order. What's the chances of a pullback? If you've ever monitored the T-line and how T-line runs work, you'll see that price always comes back and tests the T-line. And anytime it gets too far away, it tends to come back. That is also true from the downside. Too far away, it tends to come back. And really what that is, all the T-line does is it follows either the highs or the lows. Depends whether you're in a uptrend or downtrend. And it's support. In this case, we're moving up, so it's supporting the low. So as it moves up, price needs to come back and test the T-line a little bit to just prove that it's right there. Okay, I have a little floor, I have a little net, and then it starts back up. And we are getting a little far away, so you might watch for a little pullback right in here. But I love the chart pattern. I think this is a bullish continuation pattern. Certainly certainly has the ability to continue. If you put a trend line on there, anything down to that trend line, I think would be fine, depending on the look of the candles anyway. You have to take that in consideration. Um, let's see. I'm trying to post charts other than oil. Good. CMCSA. Yeah, oil is what's popping up everywhere right now. This is going to have to get above the 50-day simple moving average. It's just as simple as that. Um, I can't help, I can't help not to notice this right here, and that to me is developing a pattern. Pattern might not be a long pattern, so I really think it needs to get above the 50. Take out this ugly candle, then what you're going to have is something that looks like that from this level here. Start to move up. So over the 50 is what I would look at. AIG, AIG coming off the bottom. Nice little pattern there. You know, I I think that let's look at it this way. There we go. And I've mentioned this before, that if we take I'm going to draw it this way. If we take charts and break it down into sections, I think it's easier to bite them off that way. So what do we know about rallies? They always come with profit taking. There's a rally there, there's some profit taking. So we're up and we're right smack dab into what could be a little trouble. So what's the chances of a little profit taking in that area? I think pretty good. Now, if there is not any profit taking, it really needs to take this high out here, and that is a bit of a stretch from all the way down here. So it makes me a little nervous that it might do something like that before it actually takes that top out. Now, I kind of got off the whole section thing, but this area right here, that's all construction. This area up here is above construction. So there's certainly nothing wrong with dancing in construction. Just keep in mind, you're down there with some builders, and it's got to build a bottom before it can move up. So this is all right there, part of that bottom construction. I like the chart. I like the chart pattern. If you're already in it, I would stay in it. Just move your stop up, protect whatever profits you have in it. If you're looking to buy it, I would probably be a little patient, just because you might get that little pullback. Once again, we're on this chart, up. Look at that chart pattern right there. See, that would have been, and here's what happens so many times. It moves up, and we can't stand it. So what do? We buy it because everybody's talking about it. We're on Twitter. We're on all these news feeds. You're in the trading room, and everybody's talking about AIG and how they're making money, and you just can't stand it. So you have to get into it. I know. I've been there. Well, look at that right there. So up we go, and then we have this little consolidation. So up we go. We're right now where it could start to pull back, that consolidation. If it did fly higher, I would definitely look for that consolidation there. So I guess pick your poisons. What I'm saying is, you can trade in the construction area, which is not a thing wrong with it, or trade above the construction. Just realize it is construction, and there is a ceiling right there for the time being. This was one of the hugest and biggest aha moments for me is try not to trade off the bottom, and if you do, just respect where the construction area is, and respect the fact that bottoms, and I'm not going to get too much into bottoms, we're running out of time, but real quick, there's only two types of bottoms out there. Bottoms that look like that and bottoms that look like this. That's it. That's all there is out there. And if you just stick with that, you've got it whipped. Where are we? Jack, AIG, PEP, 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 PEP. PEP might be trying to move up. Let's see where the moving averages are. Once again, I've got to be above that 50-day simple moving average from here. If you bought it down here, that's different. If you're in the green, if you're making money, you simply ride it, raise your stop, let it work. But to be buying here, it would just have to be above that 50-day simple moving average. And then absolutely, with the $100 right there, I can definitely see that going to $100. Definitely. Go Pepsi, go. And then I saw somebody asked if that was a Darvis box. No, what this is just this is my recording program that has some really cool tools to it. Here I think I can show it to you right there. And I just click on this right here, and I have all these drawing tools if I want them. That's my pen. I can turn that into an arrow, and that's how I draw right there. So that's all that is. Chris, what was that, Steve? You're in OIH. Hope you don't jinx it. Nah, I don't think you'll jinx it. However, I do think OIH needs to it needs to break out of the construction level. The first area I would look at is right there. That's construction. Anything above that, then you get into this gap, free fall, fill, and then above this level is more building. So this is your main construction area right here. This is the bottom that it's trying to put in right here. Anything above the bottom, it's a little easier to work its way up off that area. So OIH just needs that follow through. Very important. AV. Once again, Nigel, it's working. I'm not, I look at that chart and, man, who's in charge? That's, who's in charge? So you really want to make sure that you're on the right side of the trade. We have a pretty decent bottom moving in there, but I could probably make an argument for that bottom as well as that bottom. So just make sure that you're not buying into resistance area, into trouble. It's one thing to buy down here, trade to that area, opposed to buying right at that area and finding trouble before it gets out. So just, that's the big thing right there. Another thing too is when I see a downtrend like this, one thing I like to look for is more of a sweeping bottom, more of that fry pan rounded bottom in here. I mean, this is just boom, 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 boom. So far, there's just nothing changing really. Jim saying lots of pinballs. Thanks, Jim. I haven't even looked at those yet. ARCO, we already looked at that one. EC on a pullback. On a pullback, yeah. Let's see who put that. Nigel, your AVA. See how this bottom is moving a little bit? We're down, and now we're moving sideways. And notice the the rough down move here, that's exaggeration. That's weak hands giving it up. They can't stand it, and that's what we're looking for. Just those weak hands thrown away. Smart money comes in. We start getting this sweeping bottom in here, and then Ian, yeah, on a pullback here. Great morning star signal. Great breakout. This would be an inside, anything inside, and of course, the lower the better, but anything inside would be a buy on this one. You bet, Rosemary. Thanks. Could somebody draw a line down there at the bottom to call it a night here pretty quick? BXE, once again, make sure you're following, trend line rules in there. Trend lines are a must. And when we see these little bottoms right there, what makes this different than this one? What makes this different than this one? I know somebody might point to the volume right here, but you still need to see that breakout. And so far, this is just a straight shot to the downside. We don't have any of that sweeping move to the right, that consolidation. Now, I can see where we have a little scoop pattern, but I would want to see. I'd like a little better bottom, I think, is what I'm looking for. Where are we here? My glasses are doing. Yeah, my Walmart specials. AYA.to. Nice little chart. I like that. Rally. Good consolidation right there. Nice little flag. Buy on a breakout. Good chart pattern. You bought it today. That's nice. That's real nice. And Costco. I saw Costco today. Yeah, look at Costco. What do you say about Costco? The first question I want to know is, are you in it? In which case, move your stop up a little bit. Other than that, I want to move it over like this, and I want to come in here and just draw some reasonable trend lines in there. And there we go. And that's how I would trade it right there. If you're long, stay long. I would be careful buying it tomorrow just because that's up pretty big. It might want to consolidate. I think we probably ought to draw another line on here. The fact we broke out. So what does that tell us? It kind of tells me, excuse me, that that's not really what I wanted. Kind of tells me we're going to see more trading and stay in that path for now until we see a sell signal. So, monster move today. Must have had earnings or something for something like that to happen. Let's see, David, I heard you say something one time. Yeah, I saw you post that earlier. Here it is right here. I use this, what I call, it's a scanner is what it is. Make these a little bigger so you can see it. There you go. And what I'm looking at is this VN right here. And it compares at the time of the print, so IQNT, at that print, which was right at the close today because it's right here. It was 1.1 times or 100% times greater. It's 100% or equal to the average of the last 10 days at this time of day. So when I see a number like 1.1, 1.8, 1.2 oppose, I must have this turned down or turned up. Oh, no, I don't. Like 7. If I see 0.7, I'm not going to shy away from that. But if these prints come in and I see that, all of a sudden I see CRK at 2.3, unless I'm just really familiar with what XPO is doing, I'm going to go look at CRK first because that's some serious volume right there. And under the right conditions, which you still have to have a chart set up, then I might be all over that chart because of that. So that's what I mean when I say volume coming out. I'm looking at the scanner here. FedEx shipping. Man, anybody here lately ship something? FedEx or UPS? No wonder they're always making money. Gee, many Christmas. FedEx is trying to hold up. Proof is if we get back above the 50. I've just, I am so, I'm so looking for those shorts in this area. Probably should have made that red, shouldn't I? I'm so looking for those shorts in that area because that's setting up for that blue ice failure. The fact that we have a high, and I'll get there somehow. There we go. And we have a lower high. Now we're moving up. We really need to change that trend that's happening. And with price in the 20 below the 50, unless it's way down here, because there you've got room for a bounce. Here it's like, well, we need to be on top of that 50-day simple moving average. So I would have to see that up there. If you're looking at bullish, maybe you're looking at it bearishness, which anything under the 50, I'm going to be a little nervous Nelly and tend to look at the bearish side unless there's some monster candle and volume there that suggests that it's going to move higher. Thanks for the Chipotle info there. McDonald's spun off? No way. McDonald's is a spinoff to Chipotle? Wow. I would never have thought that. Might have thought the other way. You're welcome, Rosemary. Let's see. Roast, nice. I like roast. That's a good chart. Nice trending chart. We've got a little pullback here. Low, high. Could have had a serious default here. The bears could have really stepped in. They came up here. They put in a dragonfly doji with a nice little gap up, actually creating a morning star signal over the 20. That's a pretty nice chart. I would look at that, maybe reaching that $100 mark or higher. Let's see, where are we? Rig. What's Rig doing? Island reversal there. Rig, yeah, look at that right there. Nice little island reversal. There's your island. Nice little reversal. Gap down, gap up. That's what we're looking at. Gap down. For those that don't know what it is, gap down. Let me draw that line in there. Of course, Gigi has it already drawn, but right there. Gap down, and now we're gapping up. Great little rounded bottom here as well. Nice little pullback, gap up. Nice chart. Very nice chart. What about 40% to fill that in? I'm not saying it can't go higher, but let's take the easy money. Easy money is 40%. Easier money might be 50% of that. So let's do this. Let's take this from right there. You know what? Let's run that up. There we go. Oh, heck, that puts you right in that gap. That gets you that candle there. So easy money is 30%. Nice chart. Thank you, sir. DHX.to. DHX.2. There we go. That can't be right. DHX. Rosemary, maybe I'm not doing it right. DHX.to. Yeah, that's what I come up with, and I doubt that's right, and no comment on that one. CENX. I would be a buyer on any positive trading. Great little gap up, nice little bounce off the 200. Yeah, I'd be a buyer on any move above the 50. The big thing is you're going to have to get through all this area right in here. That's going to be the big thing. MBT Telecom. Buy on positive trading. Nice little void right in here to fill. But yeah, buy on positive trading. Let's see, is there a box tool? There is a box tool. There is, Dave. Whoops. There you go. You can see it now. Yeah, I can do that, and I use mine sometimes, but it's not as handy as this right here. This is much quicker, easier to do. So that's why I use it. But yeah, it's got all the tools over here. Camtasia, yes, JR. Camtasia. Let's see, there are more bottoms than that. You're just not looking at the right bottoms. No, can't look at the wrong ones. Rosemary, yeah, JR answered there. It's called Camtasia. Gigi's got it there as well, Camtasia. Unless you do some big recording, I don't know that I would do it. Jing is free. Snagit costs a little bit, but depending on what you're going to do with it. I use mine for recording, so that's why I use it. Otherwise, I would just use Snagit or Jing. Wow, I never would. I didn't know that McDonald's is owned by CMG there. Huh. Okay. Learn something new every day. Let's see here. DHX dot B dot TO. Man. Oh, where's it at? DHX dot. Too many letters to start with for me. There we go. Um, it's still in a downtrend. I just can't see. I just it's charts like this where I want to say, where do you see a target? Tell me what your target is, and let's just I'm going to go out here and shoot just for the 50. So what do we have here? We've got 6%. I think your risk reward is poor here. I just it's in a downtrend. Um, just not enough bullishness here, and then it's only 6%. So I'd be a little careful. If if we could find, or if we could just come up with, yeah, I can see the target up here, but I see way too much bearishness in here. You get the 50 is going to get in the way. Then I would say from here, 13%. So what if you waited and bought it? Yeah, we have to take these highs right here out. So if you bought it here, now you're looking at 8%. So is it worth giving this up a little bit? So I just, there's no real buy signal here to me. And the bears still control that downtrend on that one. Make sure you have your stop in. That's I guess, make sure you have a stop. Uh, let's see, trying to get my emotions together to get out. You know, well, I mean, if you're in, I don't know where you're in it at. Um, 470. Okay, let's see here. Where's 470? Oh, oh. Wait a minute, you're in it at 470? $4 and that's way over here. Yeah, that's way over here. $4.70 is way down here. Is that right? Well, um, well, your question, do I get out now? I don't know if you get out now. You've got so much money in it. You've got a little room to work with. The time to have gotten out was up here. That would have been the time to get out. Failed top, man. We started coming down through the 50. That would have been a red flag. Take my money and run, run, run. Um, being in at 470, you've got a little room to work there. Nice entry, by the way. Wow, nice gameplay. Um, I think at this point, because you're in it, you're so green. Um, there you go. I'd set a stop in that area, 845, because if that hammer can't stop it and that support can't stop it, then it's probably going to the 200. So that would be my line in the sand, I think. For goodness sakes, protect what you have. So that, I think that's what I would use now, because if you're already in it from way down here. Okay, where are we? Oh, I think we're about done. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for all the charts you brought tonight. I do appreciate it. It helps the nights go by sometimes when I really don't have anything, and tonight I didn't. So I appreciate the charts. A lot of nice ones out there. Protect your money. Don't let this market get the best of you. Don't forget to be a profit trader. 5% here and there adds up fast. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Take care.